excuse me, Bala. Can you say something and just check if we have this background noise?
I think you will have that background noise. I think I will reduce it actually once the session starts. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Rajan is not joining today. We have just one more person yet to join. Just let's wait for him for a couple of minutes and then start the session. In the meantime, has everyone has got IntelliJ installed in their PC, right? Okay. If you don't answer, I will assume that yes is the answer for that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, I haven't got it.
Oh, you haven't got it, is it, Abjit? Okay. It's pretty simple actually.
I got it in another laptop.
Oh, okay. Can you install IntelliJ in this laptop, or else do you want to shift to that laptop?
Okay, I'll get to my office one.
Or else you can install in this laptop if you want. Actually, it's not. It won't take much time.
Let me clear that.
Okay. Wait for you to get that laptop. That's why I messaged earlier actually, because setting up is a bit of a pain for the Selenium. Because setting up is a bit of a pain for Selenium. That's why I just want you guys also do it parallelly with me. Once the Selenium is set up, then we will do some basic tests, and from that point onwards, you can practice it after the session. Okay. Okay. Abjit, what are you going to do now, Abjit? Should we wait for you on?
I'll try. No, it's I'll just next time.
Okay. No, I mean, anyway, the instructions will be pretty small. Or else we will set it up tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already got in my other laptop.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Just start the session. Okay. First, okay. Let's go ahead and create a brand new project in IntelliJ. If you guys can write okay, how we will do is like, now I'll do something here and then wait for you guys also to do it, and then I will do the next step. Okay. So basically what we are going to do is like, now as a first step, I'm just going to create a new project, and it's going to be a Java project itself, and then just name this anything. You can give any name you want actually. That's it. Okay. So this is pretty basic stuff. Okay. The next step, what I'm going to do is like, now it is depend on what machine you are using. So if you are Windows, you have to download a different one. I'll show you both actually what to download. Okay. If you got a Mac, I don't think anyone uses Linux. Okay. If you got a Mac, you have to do something different. Okay. Let's open the Chrome browser. Okay. Yes. Okay, so if let's go and check this one. No, sorry. Okay, so this is what the link you want. Okay, I'm going to post this link in the here. Okay. Go ahead and download this link.
In the Visual Studio, you can just download from the like additional things.
You mean in the marketplace?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I know, that's fine. Oh, you're talking about in the C#, right? Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can just use, there is like components you can download and,
Yeah.
and then use that for the project, which I think, so here you need to download manually, yes, the
Yeah,
installation
then
for.
the reason is, and then you have to link it to your project actually. Yeah, that's one of the advantage of Visual Studio. You don't see that link happening.
Okay.
Yeah. Before going into that, like no, last week you asked about WDS visitor file, right? I gave the wrong answer for that one actually. I got confused with the XSD file actually. I will, during the end of the session I will explain to you what is WSDL. Okay, the explanation I gave is wrong. Okay, I will give it teacher explanation in the end of the session. Okay. Okay, going back to this one. Okay. Okay, again the same thing. Okay, if when I ask a question, right, if you have downloaded means if no one answers means I will assume everyone has downloaded it. Okay, if you couldn't download or if you couldn't do that step, right, just speak up. Okay, because, it's not a problem. Okay, I assume everyone has downloaded this file. Okay, the Selenium file. Okay. The next step would be is like first what we have to do is like first what we have to do is like what is basically there is like if you open it, right, you would probably open in WinZip or WinRAR, whichever you got if you are Windows. Okay, so these are the libraries which are required for us to run the Selenium tests. Okay, and then this is basically the jar file which has got like how Java has got all those those system.out.println and all those methods, whatever libraries Java gives us, right? Same kind of thing Selenium has to use the Selenium libraries, right? All those things are available in this jar file, and I think the this lib will have all the dependency libraries, okay, for this library to execute. Okay, so you need to link this one and then all these different libraries to your project. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, just unzip it and keep it in your in any location you want. Okay, let me unzip it actually. Okay. Oh yeah, here itself it has unzipped it. Okay, let me move it to something sensible folder. Come on, move. Okay, I have moved that in Java. I'm just going to rename it to something. You don't need to rename it actually if you want, just for our convenience. Okay, now go ahead. So just I assume everyone has created a project. Okay, it's really simple. Just go ahead and file new project and then just click next. I just did it here. Has everyone done that?
Yes.
Okay. And then this is quite important step. Okay, just follow carefully. Okay, just right click it and you will see an option called as open module settings. Okay, okay, once you click the open module settings, right, you'll in the left hand side you'll have something called libraries. Okay, and then once you click the libraries, right, you will have an options to add all the dependencies for your project. Okay, so how you do this, let me just click this plus button. So try it. Yeah, okay. So what I did there is like now I selected my own project. Okay, let me delete it and then do it for you again. Okay, so once you click it, right, so the libraries what you're going to add it for your own project, right? Okay, just click Java in this one. Okay, and then so it will by default open in the project what the name what you have created. So this IML file, right, that is what the IntelliJ file is for. Okay, you don't need to select anything here. Just make sure that matches the name of your project. Okay, this automation, this name. Okay, just click open, and then from there just choose jar directories because that's what we are going to include, and click OK to it. Okay. Has everyone done this? You'll have this option here. Okay, that's what will confirm that you have done it correctly. Okay, Now we are going to link all the dependencies here. Okay. Once you click this, once you got this window, right? Just click this plus button, and then from here onwards, go to the location where you have unlocked everything. Just go to this. Choose this called as, make sure that you don't choose this -source.jar. Okay, you should choose only this client combined 3 whatever version you got .jar. Okay, you shouldn't choose the source.jar. Okay, just choose this one and open it first. Okay, and then click the plus button again, and then go inside this libs folder, which is also in this one, and select everything and then open. Okay, so now all the jar files, right, that required for you to do the Selenium project, it's there. This is all you need for the Selenium. There is one more additional thing is required. We'll do that a bit further. Okay, that's it. Actually, this is how you link the Selenium jar files to your project. Okay, now just let's go ahead and test it. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. I'll just name this first guy.
Excuse me, Bob.
Yeah.
I think I've mixed something.
Share your
so
screen.
right now-
Share your screen, Greg. It will be easier actually.
Okay. Yeah. Share
I will
screen.
stop my share.
I don't know if I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, I think I'm sharing my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
So if I go to the
Open module settings. Yeah.
so
No, you are in the left hand side, right? You are in modules. You should be in libraries.
yeah. That's the thing. Okay. But also if I click that.
Yeah.
And then just
That's
press
it.
OK on that. And then
That's it. Yeah.
Automation. And then if I go, so I need to click.
No,
here
this
again?
this plus button. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the plus button.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then
Now go to the where you have unzipped your the downloaded thing. Yeah. First choose that, and then click the plus button again, and then you have to choose the dependency. The libs folder, right? Yeah. Just open that one. I think if you choose that, if you choose the folder, everything inside it will be added. I think. I think it should be fine. I think. Yes, it should be. Yes, it should be fine. I think actually. Yeah. Now go ahead and add all the jar files. Now remove that link. Okay, just remove that link. Do the minus button. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, you can. You don't need to do one by one. You can select actually multiple things. Yeah, that's it. Just click on.
Did I add the first? Yeah, body.
Yeah, everything is there. Yeah, that's it. Apply and okay.
Okay, yeah. So that's correct.
Yeah, that's it. And then just create a new Java file. That should be simple. Okay, just go inside automation. Yeah, in the source file, right click it, and the SRC. Yeah, just right click there, and then new Java class. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. So I can stop sharing now.
Yeah, you can stop sharing now. Is everyone okay with that? Don't worry, just ask. I will explain to you. Okay, I would assume everyone has done it. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't do it first time. You guys are better than me. Okay. Okay, now let's get back to it. Okay. So how do we test the import has worked properly, right? Just let's go ahead and create one simple thing. Okay. Okay. Now, when you type import and then I think org dot, you see this open QA, right? You should get this open QA dot. Okay. If you get this open QA dot means right now, then it means that all your setup has gone successfully. Okay, you're ready to do the Selenium project. Okay, Selenium work. So yeah, that's a way you verify whether the it's not only for Selenium, for any other thing, right? Like when you import any libraries, right? So this is what will happen actually. So once you imported all the libraries, whichever your different libraries successfully, right, it will be immediately available for you to import it, okay, so that you can use it in your code. Okay, OpenQA is that's a package name what you Selenium uses in everything. Okay, so if you go to see, you got Selenium. Let's do WebDriver for example. Okay, WebDriver itself is a class. If you go inside that, see, this is a package name. Okay, ORG OpenQA Selenium, and actually that has come from the bytecode which we just downloaded actually. So how do I view the path? Yeah, here is the path. Okay, so you remember where I saved it in documents Java Selenium folder, right? Yeah, this client comes inside from the jar file. Okay, this file, this WebDriver class file. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do some basic thing. Okay, now I'm going to give a now I assume everyone has set up the environment and set up the project. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a brief introduction into Selenium, what is Selenium and how it was developed and why it was developed. Okay, and then we will jump on into some concepts of Selenium. Okay, so because today I got planned to, I think, if we cover the WebDriver concept and some basic locators, right, that should be enough actually, and then we will do some XPath also during the location actually. Okay, locators. In the next session we will do some advanced Selenium things. Okay, what are the different kind of things, what we can, some quirky things what we can do using Selenium. Okay, first of all, how Selenium.
Excuse me, Bala.
Yeah.
So I think in your Apple, you have just WebDriver. I think in our Windows we need to choose the browser what we're using. So
no, you can no that comes later actually. No, don't worry, it's exactly same between Apple and
Is it?
yeah, it is exactly same.
Because I'm trying, and I can show you now. It doesn't show me WebDriver. It just I can show you the
share the screen actually.
The overload is different. So I'll just show you one sec.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing this,
1 second. Sorry.
Yeah. And I don't have WebDriver.
Type W.
Yeah.
Capital W.
Oh, yeah. It is okay. Yeah, so with capital, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because always the class and interface, right? They will always start with capital letters. The package name always starts with a small letter.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's what only the downloading bit will be different, and then the path will be different. Apart from that, right, it will be identical between each other actually. So you guys don't need to worry because I'm using Mac or anything like that. Okay, now where we were, yeah, I was about to give introduction to Selenium, right? Okay, yeah. How Selenium was developed is like, no, I mean, I think in 2000s actually. So what they did was like, because I think some company called ThoughtWorks, I think it's a Google this thing itself. Okay, so what they were doing is like, there were a lot of because pretty much all the web UI, right? I mean, everyone would have heard about QTP. Okay, QTP was a real famous tool at the time. Okay, actually the Selenium name itself, I think it is born from the QTP. Okay, that is a funny thing actually. QTP tool, right? That's which is owned by who owns it now actually? It's a big company actually. Forgot the name.
HP used to own it.
HP. Yeah, you're right. HP. Yeah, HP owns it QTP now, right? Actually, what they did was like, they bought it from a company called Mercury. Mercury was a company which developed QTP in the starting. So what happened was like, and then they wanted the name Selenium, right? Mercury poisoning is a common thing actually in the medical world actually. Selenium is the number one antidote for the mercury poisoning. So what they do, that's why the Selenium name itself came actually. So because they wanted to kill off mercury, I mean at that time. So at the time they wanted to stop people to stop using QTP because now QTP has got, I think, a lot of automation involved, but at that time it was purely used for the manual testing actually. So that's why the Selenium name itself came. Okay, so what they wanted to do was like now they wanted to automate the UI, all the UI testing, all the UI based manual testing. So how they did it is like now in the starting, right, they did it using the JavaScript. Okay, and then again now also like now, if it's a common interview question they ask, okay, how, what is Selenium? It's like no, the only simple thing is like no, it's a whole bunch of JavaScript code or JavaScript items wrapped in a different code. Actually, if you're using Java, so Java is just a wrapper classes to call bunch of JavaScript code. Actually, okay, JavaScript will do the interaction with the browser. Okay, so how you got is like you got your own code, underneath you got Java Selenium Java code, underneath that you got JavaScript, underneath that you got the browser. So this is where the communication happens. Okay, so they wrote all the scripts, all the when I say communication means like no, what you want to basically do is like when you open any browser, right, you will enter a value, or else you will click a button, or all those things, right? All those things can be done only by JavaScript. Okay, and so how they did was like they wrote all those different mechanisms in JavaScript itself. Okay, at that time. Because the people who developed this is like was JavaScript coders actually, so they were well proficient. And the number one hurdle for them is like until now it is the hurdle also actually. They have got rid of it in a couple of different ways. The main limitation of the JavaScript, that is a quite secure JavaScript as well. So main limitation of the JavaScript, right? So if you open any website, right, it will have a bunch of JavaScript code will be there actually. Open control. This plugins. So yeah, you got this JavaScript code, right? The only problem with the JavaScript code, right? It can access the JavaScript can access only the elements. I mean, only the items which were born inside the same container. When I say the same container, means like no, if the website, if the JavaScript, right? What is JavaScript? It is running in a browser. What is the browser? It has opened a web link. Okay, then only you will have a browser. So then only you will have the website displayed. Then only inside how the website is displayed using the JavaScript code. Okay. Now the limitation for the JavaScript, right? The JavaScript can't access any link other than this parent link. When I say parent link, it's like no. So here it's got www.selenium hq.org, right? It can access anything after this one.
Can you share the screen, please?
Oh crap! I didn't share the screen. Sorry guys. Yeah, open the source code actually. Okay, yeah. So what I did do here is like no. Yeah, I just opened the source code for this one. Okay, so if you link there is a bunch of JavaScript code is there. Okay. The problem for the JavaScript is like now the main limitation for the JavaScript is, right, if I write a JavaScript code, the JavaScript code can run only in a browser, means like no, that can access only all the codes on forwarding codes from the same container. When I say the same container, like no, it can use seleniumhq.org/download. It can use anything starting with this thing. It can't say, for example, if this source code, right, can't access www.google.com/ some other thing. Okay, it can access only from this one. If there are images, if there are multiple elements, if anything available, right, it can access only from this website. Okay, it can't go beyond this one. That is the limitation they have done for the security reason, because JavaScript is a powerful tool. Okay, if it had got an option to download or access many things, malicious things, means like no, it would be a security risk that all the browsers limit that one. It won't allow JavaScript. If a JavaScript tries to do something, some access some other website or some other container, like some other page, right, it won't allow actually. So that is the main limitation for it. Okay, so what they did was like now, I'm just giving you this background. Okay, the only thing what you need to remember is like no, JavaScript can't access anything beyond its parent link. When I say parent link, it's like no, so every website will have something called www.something.com or anything like that. Okay, and then followed by /home or /download or /images or anything there. If you open any website, So if you go here, right, so all these links, right, it will be, this will be a link, okay. It can access only these kind of links, okay. It can't access anything beyond this seleniumhq.org, okay. That's one of the major why it is a major limitation is like, no, you will have the thing how the Selenium works, right. So for you to run any Selenium code, any Java code, right, you need to access, as I told you before, right, Selenium is nothing but, imagine Selenium is nothing but a JavaScript code. Imagine this is your JavaScript code, okay. You'll be running this JavaScript code in a browser, okay. What that browser will try to do is like, no, that browser will try to, that JavaScript, right, that will try to access some other website which you are testing. So that is a major problem there. Actually, how they got rid of it in olden times is like, no, they used to have a server and then they used to deploy the, you know, the web server code, you know, the UI, the website itself is like, no, the website, that's what the web server itself, like, no, they used to deploy it deploy your test and then the website in the same web server, and then so that, like, no, your test can access all the web server, all the website's code actually. So that's how they used to do it in the really older time. When I say older times, like, no, it's called Selenium RC. Selenium RC was the first version, and then there was Selenium 2, and now it's Selenium 3. Okay, when people started to use Selenium 2 and 3, right, they have got rid of all these problems actually. How they got rid of, someone might ask actually, if they want to go deep into Selenium, like, no, how they got rid of this problem is like, no, you can just simply say by using a proxy server. So using the proxy server, like, no, they tricked the browsers thinking about, they made the browser to think that your test code is coming from the website which you are testing. So that's how they got rid of that problem. Okay, it's called proxy server. I'm not going to go into deep how they implemented the proxy server, okay, because it will be a bit of out of topic here. I just wanted to give you a bit of a background. Okay, that was one of the major hurdle in the JavaScript actually. So JavaScript is limited to accessing only its own entities. Okay, it can't access any outside entities, okay, from where it has originated from. Okay, that's the main limitation of the JavaScript. To got rid of that problem, right, that's what the proxy server came into the picture. Okay, from that point onwards, it was made easy, because that was the time actually, like, no, lot of people started to use it, because when the Selenium RC and before that version, right, you need to have a very strong developing knowledge to do that, and many of the testers, right, like, no, they didn't have a strong development. That's why it wasn't picked up. That's why the Selenium IDE was quite famous at that time actually. IDE is like, no, that's a interactive tool to design the test case actually. But once they made this easier, once Selenium 2 was released, right, it was made easier actually. Anyone, when I say made easier, like, no, you don't need to do all those you know, fancy things actually, you know, deploying the same your test and then the website, or the website in the same server and running the code. You don't need to do all those things actually. That's where the, you know, the Selenium really got picked up. Selenium RC itself got picked up, and Selenium 2 it made really famous actually. Okay, and then again, it's a open source, so it's free to use. So that is also made it quite famous actually. Okay. Now, so all I'm expecting you to understand from this is like, no, Selenium is nothing but a bunch of JavaScript code. Okay, Selenium it uses in the background, it uses JavaScript to do all the operations, whatever fancy thing you are doing in your Java code, right? It will be converted into JavaScript and executed on the browser, okay, on the website which you are using. Okay, now what is WebDriver in the sense, like, no, WebDriver in the sense, imagine the name itself is a literal name. Okay, WebDriver. Okay, sorry. So to do everything in your Selenium, right, you'll be using an object for the WebDriver. That will be the driver behind all the operations, whatever you're trying to do in your in your browser, or whatever operations you are trying to do in Selenium, right? There will be you'll be initiating a class called as a WebDriver. Okay, from that class itself you will do everything. Okay, that name, that name itself clearly says, okay, that's the driver for everything. Okay, when it says driver in the sense, like, no, that is the link between you and then the browser. Okay, the page or whatever you're going to do. Okay, Now, another quite important thing is like, Selenium, right? To do different browsers, right? Earlier, Selenium used to come packed with Firefox by default. Now they got rid of it. So Firefox also, so because what I'm trying to say is like, if you want to use Chrome, right, you need to download the Chrome driver and link it here. If you want to use Firefox, you have to, I think Firefox is not called Gecko driver. I think, yeah, that's because Firefox uses a Gecko engine actually. I think Safari and Chrome uses the same engine. That's why, okay, in many of the testing, right, if you test in Chrome, you don't need to test in Safari. It's one of the reason actually, risk analysis, because Safari and don't worry about the background details, but Safari and Chrome uses same kind of web engine actually. Okay, so if you don't have time, and means like, if you got 1,000 tests, means like, usually what they will do is they will run all the 1,000 tests in Firefox, Chrome, and all the browsers, because all the browsers doesn't use the same engine. It uses different engine. That's why they do it. So that like, no, it doesn't fail, it doesn't work. Sometimes you also would have seen it, right? Sometimes it will work proper. They will say like, no, famously, okay, can you open and do it in IE browser, and then can you open and do it in Chrome browser? That's the reason for it. Sometimes it will work that's the reason behind it, because the web engine, right, that drives between the Firefox and Chrome, that's different from each other. Okay, I'm not sure about the name of the Chrome, but I know for sure that the Chrome and the Safari uses the same thing. IE is different, and then again for the Firefox also it is different. Okay, that's why when you don't have time, right, if you run in Chrome, means you don't need to run the Safari testing. Okay, so the web engine differs from each other. Okay, so because of that reason, right, so you need to download the different drive. So if you want to do Firefox testing, or else if you want to do Chrome testing, means like, you need to download a driver specifically designed for that one. Okay, so that will give that, I mean, when I say specifically designed for that, it's nothing but the Firefox web browser, right, that has been packaged for you to use it. Okay, that's all to it. There's nothing big to it. Okay, same for Chrome, or same for Safari, or same for IE. Okay, I don't think Safari is supported anymore in Windows. The same way IE is not supported in the Mac. Okay, so predominantly, majorly, we are going to concentrate on Firefox and Chrome. Okay, let's get on with our first thing. This is that's basically with the history about the Selenium. Okay, so I'll just recap it. Okay, Selenium is nothing but a bunch of JavaScript running in the background. Okay, all the Selenium libraries which we downloaded, right, those are just a wrapper classes for those JavaScript. Okay, and then using JavaScript only, it will communicate with the browser. Okay, so how the architecture is your code, and then the Selenium Java code, and then the JavaScript, and then the browser. That's the architecture. Okay, and then currently first version is Selenium RC, and Selenium 2, and Selenium 3. Selenium, major difference between the Selenium RC and Selenium 2 is like, they got rid of that concept of deploying your code and then the website code, the server code in the same web server, so that like, your test code can access the web server code. Okay, they got rid of that problem in Selenium 2. Okay, and Selenium 2. And then, Selenium 3, they improved some of the features. I think that headless drivers was one of the famous things what they introduced in Selenium 3. Because why I am so bad in Selenium 3 is because when I did the coding, right, when I did the Selenium lot, right, I did it in Selenium 2. So they have made a lot of improvements in the Selenium 3 as well. Okay, I think Firefox got rid of Zone driver recently only. Okay, so that is the major difference between Selenium RC. The RC means remote control actually. I think Selenium remote control actually. There is one more concept called a Selenium grid actually. I won't be covering the topic in this one, but once we see all the things what we are going to see, right, you can look into that Selenium grid concept. It's nothing but to run, how I just told you, you need to design your test case based on one browser, and you can run the same test code in different browsers, right? So the grid helps you with that concept. Okay, running in multiple browsers. So once we done with the Selenium, I highly suggest to get into that and look into it, because many people implement it because to save time actually. That's basically the main reason for the grid. Okay, the usability. that is what you need to know about the history of the Selenium and what is Selenium. And then what we saw about the WebDriver is, WebDriver is the main class which drives the whole thing. Okay, so once you instantiate the WebDriver, that is going to act as a link between you and the browser. So whatever you do, whatever you do is you will be doing it on the WebDriver, the object which you created for the WebDriver. Okay. Yeah, that's all the recap up to it. Okay, now I'm just going to do something. I want you guys also to do this, okay, to download that. So as I told you, right, we need to download we are going to do two things on here. Okay, one is the Firefox and one is the Chrome. We are not going to do IE or Safari. Okay, so to use those two, to do the testing in those two browsers, right, we need to download the Chrome driver package and then the Firefox driver package. Okay, that is where it comes into the picture. It is platform dependent. Okay, as I told you before, Java is purely platform independent. That's why you don't need to download something specific for Windows or something specific for Apple or anything like that. That's why it is independent. But once it comes to the WebDriver, right, it is platform dependent. Okay, now in the same web page, right, if you go down, right, let's first download the Mozilla. Okay, and then once you click this Mozilla Gecko driver, I'm just going to post this link here also. I'll post this link. Okay, and then once you open, right, if you go to this releases folder, right, you will have this option. Okay, now I think here only you have to turn on. Yeah, here is it. Okay, I'm just going to post this link. Okay, so once you're here, right, I think most of you will be in Windows 64. Okay, so you guys go ahead and download this one. If you are using Mac, go ahead and download this one. Okay, so I'm going to download this one. Okay, once it download, right, you have to unzip it. Okay, I think it will be pretty easy in the Windows. I'm just going to unzip it. Mine. If you're using, you don't need to do all these things actually, because I use okay, so I'm just going to post this command if you're using Mac to use. So you unzip a tar file. Okay, so once you unzip it, right, if you go here, you will have something like this Gecko driver with this name. Okay, make sure that you have it. Just moving it to the Java folder itself. Okay, so it's basically pretty simple actually. It's not a complicated one. Okay, so go to the link which I posted there. You'll get this page, and then come to the bottom of the page, and then you'll see what are the Gecko drivers, different Gecko drivers available for you. So if you're using, most of you will be using Windows 64, so download this one. Okay, in rare case, if you are using Windows 32, you need to use this one. You'll come to know that once you run it, right, it will whinge about it. It will start to complain about it. So at the time you will know it. Okay, so if you are using Mac, just download this one. Okay, and then unzip using the if you have Windows, just unzip it using the normal method. Okay, now now what we have to do is first thing is we have to tell the Gecko driver what we just downloaded, right? I placed it here, right? We just need to tell the Selenium that okay, this is where you can get the Gecko driver, and then I'll do the Chrome also actually parallelly, so that we can use both actually. The same thing, if you go to the Selenium again, this Selenium download page, right? You will have this the same thing, same how I do Mozilla Gecko driver, right? You do this one. Okay, just click the Google Chrome driver. It will take you to this similar page, and then just do the latest stable release. Click that one. Okay.
Bala, I already got them last time. Should I be reinstalling them or?
You can. It's just a download. Download, Amla. You can re-download it, or else you can reuse the. If you already have it, you can just reuse it. It's not a big deal.
Oh.
Okay. So, 1 second. Why? Yeah. Why I think why it is got doesn't have Windows 64. 1 second. Let's see what is the current version. 78 is current version. Let's go. Yeah, okay. I think with this we can do both. I think that's the reason. Okay. So I'm just going to post this link where to download from. So you guys can navigate through yourself. Okay, but I'm just going to post this link. Yeah. Okay, again I'm just insisting, what we are downloading is like, no, it's not, it is just a package for the browser. Okay, so this Chrome, right, that is actually it's how do you say, it's a built code actually. Okay, someone has written a code and then they have built it, installed it. Okay, this browser, right, that is again an exe file in the Windows. Okay, the same thing for the Selenium, right? Selenium doesn't have this code, Chrome code, or else doesn't have the Firefox code in itself. Actually, it can communicate with the Firefox, it can communicate with the Chrome, but it doesn't have the Chrome code itself. The reason is like now because the Chrome will continuously keep on updating. It can't. Selenium won't release every time Chrome or Firefox updates it. So that's our job to download the Chrome and link it with the Firefox. Sorry, link it with the Selenium. Download Firefox and link it with the Selenium. Okay. So this is given by the Chrome. No, it's not given by the Chrome people. It's some third-party people who has done this packaging. Okay. So the thing what you're just seeing is like, no, that's just a WebDriver. That's just an engine. Okay, which you require for the opening the Firefox, that has got the Firefox browser in it. Okay, same thing for the Chrome is also. Okay, and then
excuse me, Bala, so Chrome driver is only for Win32, or is
yeah, that's what I am also surprised actually, because Firefox had a 30. I think you can just try and use this one itself. If the 64 has issues, means like it will start to complain, saying that I'm not able to open the exe, all those crap will come. So just try and use this one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Bala, I used already. It's only 32 Bala for Windows.
Oh, is it? Okay.
64 is not coming as a package actually.
Okay, then it's fine. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and download. Okay, I already downloaded it. Okay, and then just kind of open to show me if I'm done. Okay, I done. Just going to delete all these things. Okay, so this is my Chrome driver. Okay, I'm going to move that to Java as well. Okay, now what is the first step? What you have to do is like, no, you have to tell Selenium, right, where the files are available. Okay, where the the Firefox driver which we download, the Gecko driver which we download, right, you have to tell Selenium where it is available from. Okay, and then same thing goes for the Chrome driver as well. Okay, how you do it is like, no, system. I think Firefox. I have to check it actually because I haven't done this for a while. WebDriver.gecko.driver. Okay. Okay, so it will be WebDriver.gecko.driver. And then the location which you just downloaded. Okay. No, it is in Java, right? So there is the look at it is there. Okay, so what this means is like system.property, right? Okay, if you have worked in Windows, right, many of you would have come across something called as environment variable. Environment variable is something for example, like it will help you for it will help your executable to run. Okay, for any executable to run, right, it needs to know certain things in certain places. Okay, if you have because if you have a developer, right, you would have done it actually. But if you when you are executing something, right, I don't have Windows here. Okay, so if you go and check the environment variables, right, there will be key value pairs in it. Okay, the key tells you the name of the name of the key, and then the value gives you the actual value of the key. Okay, the value will be some path to some location. Okay, so who uses it? Like lot of this, lot of the executables which you run on a day-to-day, like Windows or anything, everything will use it. Okay, so how it uses is right now, why you don't ever set the environment variable, right? When you install Microsoft Office, for example, right, it will set all the paths whatever it requires in the environment variable by itself. And then when you open the Windows Word or anything like that, right, it will access the environment variables and get all the information, all the paths it needs to access for to run it smoothly, right? All the paths it's dependent on, right? It will get the information from that environment variables. Okay, so that's what exactly you're doing here also. Okay, what you're trying to do is like the system represents your whole JVM itself. Okay, we talked about what is JVM, right? The system represents the whole JVM itself. Okay, when I say whole JVM, right, once you set this property, right, if you run, but once the program terminates, this property also will be get rid of it. Okay, what will happen is like if you set this property in this method, right, while this class is this particular project running, right, anyone can from anywhere access this property. Okay, what I mean by that, like because you are setting it to a system. Okay, system represents the whole JVM itself. Once you set the property is pretty explanatory. Okay, this is the property name. This is the property name. First whatever in the left side of the comma, right, that's the property name, and this is the value. Okay, so what you're trying to do is like for your JVM, I'm going to set a property, and this is the property name, and this is the value for it. Okay, who will use this property name is like because this name looks weird. Okay, who will use this name is, right, Selenium will use this name to find out what is the location of the Gecko driver, what is the location of the Chrome driver and everything. Okay, so Selenium knows this keyword, this value, this key. Okay, webdriver.gecko.driver. I believe for the Chrome it will be webdriver.chrome.driver. Okay, and then once you invoke anything using the Selenium, right, it needs to start, if it wants to start the Firefox driver, right, it will immediately go and look for this one. Okay, look for the system property, and then it will know that okay, this is the location. This is the location where the Gecko driver is available, where the Firefox driver is available. Okay, that's what this line does. Okay, let's go ahead and do the first line. Okay, now what we need to do is like we need to create an object. Okay, so again, as I told you before, right, it's a different concept for WebDriver, different concept for Firefox, different concept for Chrome and everything. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so what we do is like as a starter, what we can do is like you do this. Okay, Firefox driver, that's a class. Okay, driver, let's do Firefox equal to new Firefox driver. Okay, it's as simple as this one. Okay, now what you do is like first step in any when you're doing the Selenium, right, you have what is automation basically is like it's replicating a manual testing. Okay, so in the manual testing, like what you do is like step by step, right, that is exactly the steps you have to do in automation as well. Okay, as a part of the first thing, what happens is like when you want to do a manual testing, when you want to do any website, right, what is the first step you will do? You will open a browser. Okay, so this is the step which has opened a browser for you, because you have created once you create an object means like no, then it means that Firefox driver has come into picture, come into JVM, come alive. Okay, so you have opened the browser. What is the next step is like no, we need to go to that particular website. Okay, so that's object which I created. Okay, dot. There's some one class called as get. Okay, let's do. There was a couple of websites actually which was really good actually. This is not there. This is.
I have a question actually.
Yeah.
So in the set property, you have to do this webdriver.com. Yeah, webdriver.com driver or Gecko driver?
No, Gecko is for the Firefox. Chrome is for the Chrome. You can do both actually if you are going to use both drivers, right? So you can do it like this, Chrome, and then all you have to do is like no, the Chrome driver which I downloaded. Okay, you just need to just go here and do this. Okay, so this is to you when Selenium, when you are doing this one, right? Okay, I'll do the. I was thought of doing this later actually. We can do this also. Okay, so what I'll show you what's happening here. Okay, let us do one website. What is it? Okay, let's do google.com itself. Okay. Okay, once you do this, right, so what will happen is like now it will create the step as I told you before, like now it will create a virtual browser for you, and then again same thing, it will create a virtual Chrome for you. Okay, once you kickstart this code, right, it will start to navigate it. From that point onwards, like no, the browser will come to alive. So so what it will do here, like, because it knows it from the name of the object, right, what you created, right, we have created an object for Firefox driver. From this, Selenium will know that it has to open a Firefox web browser. So for the Firefox web browser, right, it will go and check the system property if anything is available like this. Okay, if it is available means like no, then it knows where that Firefox web browser is available. This is where the web browser is available. Okay, the Gecko driver is a web browser. Okay, so it will invoke this one by its own means. The same thing for the Chrome also. So once when you execute this line of code, right, that at that time only it will this system property is required. Okay, so let's do one small design. Okay, I'll just comment out this code and run this. Of course we got it. Okay, let's see that. Driver is good, must be set. Oh my god, I missed the D. It's basically what it's like no. See, imagine this one. Okay, it's what it's basically saying is like no, the path to the driver executable must be set to this one. Okay, in the system property it is missing, that's why I'm not able to run, because I've used the wrong name. Okay, if I run it now, it should execute. See, it has opened the browser and then it has gone to google.com. Okay, and the same thing, if I comment out this one, right, it's going to give the same error what it gave earlier. It says that the path to the driver executable is missing. So this is the executable which has got the browser packed in itself. Okay, so you need that to run it. Okay, is that the question you are asking, Aarti, or else?
Yes, yeah, I can understand now.
Okay, system. There is another way of doing the system property also. I think you can give it as a constructor as well. I have done it in the past actually. I'm not sure if it's still there actually. How you do it actually? Okay, yeah, I used to do it in the Firefox options. I think so. Let's try that one actually. It's not a bad idea actually. Firefox options. I'll explain to you in a minute actually, okay, what I'm doing here. Systems off. System okay. Okay, I will look into this later actually, because I used to do it in a different way long time before. Okay, I will give you guys explanation. Okay, but we need these options to do some other thing as well, so I'm going to keep it as of for a minute. Okay, now you don't need this. Okay, so as of now, just let's do it in a traditional way itself. Okay, you set the system property. There must be a way to do it without setting the system property by directly giving in the, when creating the object actually. There must be a way to do it as well. Okay, I will look into it actually, because I should have looked into it before the plans itself. Okay, I thought it still hasn't changed. Okay, so yeah, so this is traditional way of doing it. Okay, now I just want to show you the one of the major difference. This is one of the, I think this is one of the major difference improvement they did from 2 and 3. Okay, you see here, right, the web browser is opening. Okay, let's do one more thing. I'll show you guys. So basically it will just tell you the name of it. So what this Google means is like, no, so this is what that means. Okay, let's open something fancy. Okay, this was the website we did on that day, right? Okay, let's go to this website itself. You see this Flying Tiger Copenhagen, right? So that's what you expect to get it in the end. Yeah, Flying Tiger Copenhagen, United Kingdom. Okay, so that's the title of it. Now, yeah, see this. The major problem that too is like, no, you see this browser opening and then navigating and everything, right? So to reduce the amount of time get, because if you stop using the actually opening the browser, right, it will save you a lot of time, because when the number of test cases increases, right, you may need to think about it actually to saving the time, because time will become a major factor. So there is an option called as, there is an option called as headless browsers. Headless browser is, that is way of doing it without actually opening the browser itself. Okay, so how you do it is like, you have to do it in the Firefox options. Okay, I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, so all you have to do is like, options dot, I think set headless. Yeah, set headless. You just need to set it to true. So because what is the major use of this options object, right? There must be, okay, for example, we use this one, right? This is itself a HTTPS. Okay, I think why you're getting this frowny space is like, no, it's because of the SSL certificates in some websites, right? You remember when you go to the website, it will ask for you that accept or not accept, all those things, like, whether you want to go to the website or not, right? If you want to solve that, right, you need to set the proper SSL certificate, all those proper SSL certificate, and then if you want to use a specific profile for the browser, when I say specific profile, is like, you want it to be this size, you want it to be maximum size, you can set all those options actually. Okay, all those things you can set it using the Firefox options. Okay, there are everything available. So when I type options dot, right, what else is that? I think get binary will get you the actual location where the Firefox binary is. and then log level profile. Yeah, set profile is the actual profile, because Firefox has got, see, when in this is the profile, right? This is the website which is opened by the Selenium, right? For example, if I type what are the previous website I have visited, say for example I visited Stack Overflow at some point of time. If I open Stack, right, it won't come here, but if I type Stack, right, see, all my history comes here, right? But if I type Stack, nothing is coming here. The reason is, right now, because this is a different profile. The website which I opened, right, by default, this is called default profile, which we used to for daily browsing in the Firefox. That is called as default profile. Okay. Whenever, that is a unique thing. Whenever the Selenium opens the Firefox, right, it opens in a new profile. But if you want to open it in the default profile, right, you can set, there is a way to set it. How you set it? You set it in options, using the way of options. Okay, so that's basically it. Okay, let's try it actually. Okay, so that is the reason why, because you know all those things. Okay, there are a lot of operations what you can do using this Firefox option. The same thing, I think, for Chrome also there is something called Chrome options is there. Yeah, Chrome options is there. Okay, because the option features changes between the browser to browser. That's why it has got individual, each browser has got their own class for options. Okay, so because for Chrome, right, Chrome might not have profile concept itself. Okay, it might have or might not have. It might not have itself. For there, right, it is completely I mean, you know, the set option is invalid, will be an invalid operation on the Chrome. That's why they have got a unique class. This has got a unique class. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, like, first I'm going to show you guys how this headless works. Okay, so now what we have done is, like, now we have created an object for this Firefox options, and in the options I've just set this method, okay, to true. Okay, set headless is true. Okay, now when I do the same operation, right, and then I'm going to pass when I'm creating the Firefox WebDriver, right, all I have to do is, like, now I just need to give the options what I want. Okay, whatever I just did it earlier. Okay, all I need to do is, like, now pass this object what I created into this web server, in this Firefox driver constructor, and it will use all these options, and based on the options it will create the WebDriver. Okay, sorry, Firefox WebDriver. Okay, that's all to it. Okay, so you want to customize you don't want the default thing what the Selenium opens. You want to customize the driver which is Selenium is going to open. How do you customize it? Using these options. Okay, you can set different options to it, and then all you need to do is, like, no, when the Selenium is actually going to create an object for it, right, you have to give it as an input in the constructor. Okay, if you run the same thing, right, and one more important thing, whenever you open a driver, right, you will have this issue. Okay, you need to close it. Okay, why I haven't closed it is, like, because the test will exit so quickly, immediately it will disappear. That's why I haven't closed it. But you need to close it so that, like, no, this will get rid of it, because whenever you run, right, you will end up with, like, multiple browsers running. Okay, so I'm just going to close all these things which is created by the Selenium. Okay. Okay, if I run this one, right, I'll get the same result, but nothing will open. Browser won't open. Okay, see, that's what you're saying. You're running in headless mode. I have this ready to use now. Yeah. See, we got the same results, but the browser didn't open. Okay, that's one of the major features they implemented in the, because this feature is not available in 2. This feature is only available in 3, where you don't see the browser. Okay, now I'm just going to try and do that. I think if it still hasn't changed, means I think if it's still fine. Just go ahead and double check it. Okay, you can't just give the name, you have to actually give the path to the default. Okay, these are all you guys need to investigate and then do this one. Okay, so how you do it is, like, I'll do this Firefox profile. Okay, and then you need to actually give the profile which you want to use. Okay, so the profile directory would be
Excuse me, Bala. I'm trying to run headless mode, but
Yeah.
it's still showing me the browser.
okay. Let's look at it. You might are you sure you gave that options as a input in the constructor?
Oh, 1 sec. I think if I've done it. Yeah, can you show that again, please?
Pardon?
So yeah, can you show that again? So where I should put it?
So you need the object which you created in this Firefox.
Yeah.
You just need to give it as an input to that the Firefox driver. In the
Yeah,
constructor.
for the options. Yeah. Okay, I understand now. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
So I'm just going to 1 second. What is the name they used? It's it must be easier. You don't need to give. How can I set the default profile? Profile. Yeah, just profile initializing get profile. Yeah, the get profile is the option is there. Yeah. Okay, let's do that one. Let's create a profile first. Okay. I'll just name this safety. Okay. Let's go to profile. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm just going to set this to false so that we can actually see the browser, and I'm going to disable this close also for a minute. See this one, I'm getting all my previous history as well. Okay, so because the reason now is even the Selenium, whatever the Selenium is using, right, that also is default profile, so I get to access all the history done by the user in this computer. Okay, whatever the user has done in this one, right, because this would have opened in default profile, all the histories are available for me for the version of browser which the Selenium has opened. Okay, so these kind of things actually, what's the most important thing is here is all you need to know, because this is a very good example. Okay, I've done this work probably 2.5 years before actually the Selenium work actually, because now I work we automate it's a middleware software. Okay, so all you need to know is because you can't remember all the things. Okay, all you need to know is you need to just know that the concept like this today I said to someone actually, okay, you need to know what to search in the Google. That's what the most important thing is. You shouldn't ask Google what I should search. Okay, so you should know that there is a concept, because I knew there is a concept called as Firefox profile, and I had this issue in my past actually. Okay, because there was a requirement to use the default profile so that now I can access all the histories, all the previously accessed website. Okay, so the main reason was because for the autofilling the form. Okay, so you just need to know there is an option to do it, and then just need to know how to do it in the past. So once you, even if you forget, right, once you see the code, once you do the Google, right, you'll immediately, everything will come to the picture, come to your mind. Okay, so that's all you need to know actually. Okay, that's what experience gives you, because experience is experience. You can't remember everything, all the keywords and everything, because I didn't know this gecko. I knew something you have to set it. I didn't know the exact keyword actually, because I forgot. I have done it for a while, so I searched into it. There's nothing wrong. I mean, if you remember it, it's absolutely fine. You are a genius. Okay, so because we tend to forget actually if you haven't worked in a while. So that, like, no, you just need to know what to search for, what to look for out there. Okay, so in the same way, I'll just explain to you what I did here. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, like, now I'm creating an object for Firefox profile. Okay, what this profile INA will do is, like, now it's nothing but it's specific for Firefox actually. Okay, what it will do is, like, now I think they call it as profile initialization. Okay, so what it does is, like, now there is I think there's only one method, I think that's called because pretty much all are protected. Only public protected or private it will be actually. Yeah, protected. Okay, this is a constructor. That's leave it. Okay, all are protected. Only public class, only public method which is available, right? That's get profile. Okay, so the sole reason why they created this is, like, no, is to download the profile. Okay, see here they have done it as, like, no, that's not a there's somewhere they give an actual driver, right? So an example, right? That's not a very good example actually, where you give, because I was about to do that also, where you can actually locate the default profile somewhere saved in the in the Firefox path, and then give that actual thing. So this is a bit easier to do that. Okay, it will do the same thing for you, rather than you going to the exact path. It will do the search for you and give you the path. Okay, so what it does is, like, now this profile initialization, right? There's only one method available in that one, get profile, and then you just need to give the name of the profile. And again, this I knew that before itself actually. What is a profile name? By default, the Firefox uses default itself. Okay, so what it will do is, like, now it will search for this profile called as default, and if you do something like this, right, it will throw an error saying that blah blah blah, unexpected value profile null. Okay, so because this hasn't yielded, this would have not yielded in any valid profile. So if you look at this one, right, in the debug mode, if I run it, see this one, right? After searching also, because there is no profile like this, so that the get profile wouldn't have yielded anything. It would have returned null. So that's why FP is null. Okay, but if I do set it to default and run the same thing again, right, FP will have an actual object in it. See, FP has got an actual, it's not null, it's got an actual object in it. Okay, and then there must be somewhere the path will be lying actually with defaults, but okay, we don't need to go there. Okay, so yeah, that's what basically it does actually. Okay, like this, right? If you want to say, for example, if you want to set the session, if you want to set the SSL configuration, right, there is a way to do it also. Okay, so all we are going to do in the sessions right now, we are going to see and cover all the common things what we use. Okay, so for SSL config and all, like, now it's bit of going inside. So if it's based on your requirement, and it is good if I don't teach you those things. Okay, because it will be good if you learn it on your own. When you learn it on your own, the advantage is, like, you dig it through your throat, you will learn a lot of other things while learning something else as well. Okay, so we will see all the common things, how to locate it, what are the common issues, how to handle a pop-up, how to do the alerts, everything we will see, but we won't go deep advanced Selenium. Because once you get a good grip of the Selenium, right, advanced Selenium, you can itself dig it out, and then, because all the help is available online. Okay, you can dig it out and you can understand it. Okay, quite easily. Okay, so yeah, the main thing I wanted to show in Firefox options is, like, headless and profiles. You can do a lot of things actually. You can set the window size, because sometimes in your browsing experience you would have seen, if you minimize, if you have this something like this, right, if you minimize, right, maximize, right, the whole structure completely changes. It goes out of whack. This becomes here because the thing what we did was, like, if I start doing this, right, you see the formatting goes bit back because this is done by us last week. Okay, so there was no, we didn't do any CSS or anything like that. It's just a simple HTML code. Okay, so to do all those things, right, to set it in a size, or else if you want to maximize mode and you want to minimize it, there every options is available. You'll see some of those options here, but we won't be seeing all the options. You have to dig it out and search for it. Okay, now what else? Yeah, we wanted to cover the close as well. Okay, so what basically, don't worry about this get title. Okay, so this is the get. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, let's do this line by line. Okay, if I start this one and do it. Okay. It's still running actually. Why it is still running? It's going to be, I think. Then we start again. Sorry guys, just give me 1 minute actually. I'm not sure why. Just shut down. Okay, let's do it again. Starting down. So that's why this happening. 1 second, let me disable the pop-up things. It's because of the profile.